Words of the Spirit, 11:4:24, Miraculous Rejoicing. I speak unto you this day, and I say, let your hearts be filled with the miraculous rejoicing that I want you to have. When things do not go the way that you had hoped they would go, give me thanks and praise, because I am with you. As you will yield to the giving of thanks and praise, you will see that I, the living God, will raise you up and give you new horizons. It is not my intention that my people would live under the curses that come to those who look only at their circumstances rather than unto me, as the one they are serving each day. When you keep your vision clearly upon my plan and want only that, so will you be given my peace. It is not my intention that you would live in turmoil and torment because you do not have me as the one you want to serve and obey each day. It is indeed a joyous thing to know my Spirit is within you and is guiding you each day as you will pay heed to the same. I want you to be willing to follow me in whatever way that my Spirit leads you, because you are called and chosen for my purposes and not your own. There are many who start out in the joy of their first love with me. Then the cares of this life come along and they yield to those cares rather than following my Spirit. The cares of this life are literally a cruel prison house whereby many have lost their vision of me and taken up the way of the world. They grow dependent on their jobs, their finances, their families, and they forget that they were meant to put me and keep me first in life. Because of this transgression, they grow hard and callous towards me. My Son, my Spirit, and my people who remain faithful to me as their first and foremost love in this life. They join a local church and settle into the rut of religion without any heart desire for more of me. This is indeed a sad state of affairs, for I see them in their captivity, and I am made sorrowful that they have allowed themselves to become prisoners of the cares of this life. What is tragic is that most people abandon the miraculous rejoicing they experienced as my people and become infatuated with the things of the world and let their hearts and minds be drawn under the covering of demons. When this happens, such ones no longer have any true love for me, because they see evil constantly and their companions become those of the world, and they are far from me. I do not find pleasure in such ones, for they are definitely distant from me and what I have intended for them. In such choices they prove to be unworthy and untrue to me as the one who has given them the privilege to be born again of incorruptible seed. Those who are deliberately choosing against me are counted as unworthy because they are being troubled by their choices for the world rather than me. The truth remains that those who want to be ruled by demons will be counted as unworthy because they are not willing to endure hardness as warriors for righteousness. Instead, they turn back to the rudiments of sin and death, and by the same they are covered by demonic powers. These ones, most of them, will become arch enemies of righteousness and the true warriors who stand for the same and choose to remain with me. Then out of guilt and hatred they will turn to cursing and ranting because they have turned back from me. They have abandoned the miraculous rejoicing that they knew in the beginning of their acceptance of my Son Jesus. Those who remain true to me and want my will above their own will steadily endure whatever test and trial they go through, and be glad that they can indeed come forth knowing my mercy and miracles. They will not set themselves up in resistance against me as the ones who have turned back and quit following my Son so they could indulge in folly. Instead, they move onward and upward in my plans because they know that I am the higher way and there is none like me. Do not allow yourselves to be enticed and enchanted by the voices of demons who want to make trophies of those they have taken away from me. I do not desire to see my people turn aside from the harmony that comes of being true to me and enter into the terror and turmoil of the world's ways. As the ones who are mine, remember that the broad way is the way of destruction, devastation, death, and damnation. Although the devil and his demons offer sweet deceits, know that those things are horridly bitter. In the end, those who bite the bait and are taken captives will scream in the torments and agonies of the damned, for they will face desolation and despair and be unable to come forth knowing that it is me they are meant to serve. Do not be living under the uncertainty, the perversity, the insanity of these times. Rather rejoice to live in the realms of my glory and my will for you. Keep true and faithful to your vows to me, and do not reject my covering of love, light, and life over you. Abandon yourselves this day to the miraculous rejoicing that you are meant to partake of, and you will be brought higher, and your vision will be made clear and clean. So many die in their earthly pilgrimage because they stop and listen to the demons who want to entice and enchant them into the traps that are waiting to take them into captivity that ends in insanity. Be glad this day and every day that you do not need to be found among the fools who are taken to hell in their folly. Be found under the covering of my Spirit, whereby you can be as those who are miraculously rejoicing daily, keeping your vows.